do like fancy not backgrounds, but like fancy schmancy quote unquote intros. Should I come up with a fancy name?
Yes. I mean, you can if you want to, but I'm going to tell you right now, just because you started it off with that kind of vibe, that's going to be the intro.
Oh, wait, we started?
Yeah, we started recording.
That's
Eddie's used to Zoom, where it has this like really weird AI voice that says AI, or it says like recording has started.
Recording started.
Welcome to the Garlic Boys podcast, where we treat friendship like a good recipe treats garlic. You can never have too much of it. We're your host. I'm Connor O'Connor.
And I'm your favorite tough but lovable grizzled seen too much detective, Spider Cop. That's right. I'm back again.
And this week we are joined by the co-hosts of the show, Big Opinions, Small Beards.
Bro, you botched that up. It's the other way around. Small beards, big opinions, my guy.
Oh my gosh. Oh no. Whatever will we do?
Man, I'm glad to be on the boys garlic.
Shader, you can't make a funny joke about my mess up because now I have to keep that in.
No, we can't.
He's used to doing it to me. He's used to doing it to me. Now you're doing it.
Eddie, this is my show.
You invited us on. That's your fault.
That's very true. We are joined by the Small Opinions, Big Beards themselves. What did I say it wrong again?
Just go.
Why don't you guys just introduce yourselves? How about that?
Hi everyone. We're Small Beards, Big Opinions, a YouTube show. We went to college with these dudes. I'm Eddie Boyce, aka, and for you YouTube folks out there, me and Shannon brought something special. So we are wearing our Hush Puppy Corporation of America shirts. I am, of course, vice president of this former company, and my co-host is, of course, president of the company. But Shaner, introduce yourself.
Yeah, I'm Shaner.
There you go. Yeah, that's us.
That's right. Just another seamless intro.
I had half a mind to say I'm Matt Houts because Matt never does it, but it didn't work out that way.
True.
If you haven't listened to our D&D podcast, Matt does the intros on that, and he also doesn't introduce himself on that show either.
I'm really bad at introducing myself. I'm really bad at hosting and introducing specifically. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Please say something because I'm uncomfortable.
I feel like we should just sit in that silence for another 5 seconds and then we can move on.
No, yeah, not doing it. Not doing it. I refuse to be silent. You can't silence me.
For those of you wondering, Matt forgot that I can actually silence him by muting him on the call.
I hate you so much.
Well, boys, welcome to the show.
Yeah.
Do you want to tell us a little bit about your show and why that kind of makes you qualified to be Garlic Boys as well?
Wait, we are Garlic Boys too? That's how this works?
We're all Garlic Boys, Eddie.
Eddie, haven't you been listening?
Oh my goodness, Eddie, you truly don't listen to the show, do
no,
you?
I've listened to like 5 episodes. That counts as listening.
To be completely fair, I also don't listen to the podcast.
Oh, there you go, yeah.
And I'm
Just
in
that
it.
you're at least on the show. Shaner, since you're loyal and a good friend besides Eddie, can you explain to us why what your show is and sort of how it fits into with what we are doing here?
Yeah, so we started our show, I think, in college. Eddie came to me and said, hey, I'm going to be on the radio for, I think it was for a credit. Was it, Eddie?
No, actually, it wasn't for anything at all. I just was like, I want to do a radio show. And like, we got good chemistry. So I was like, hey, you want to do a radio show?
We had been roommates for a little while and we knew we had good chemistry. So Eddie was like, you want to come on the radio? And I was like, yeah, I want to be on the radio. And it evolved. I would say devolved. It evolved from there, and then we graduated, and we didn't do anything for about a year.
Yeah.
And I don't remember who was like, "Hey, we should start this back up on YouTube because we enjoyed doing it." And even though we didn't think a lot of people listened, we were still having a ton of fun with it. So we got together, reworked it with new bits. We have, I think, now 3 different episode types. I don't want to call them 3 different shows. But we have one where we talk about Star Wars, which is great. We're working through this all 11 movies, I think there are now, counting Solo and Rogue One.
Yeah, 11.
And
are you counting the animated Clone Wars movie?
No,
Then
just
that'd be
live
12.
action. Just live action movies.
Okay.
I don't think I could get Eddie to watch all the Clone Wars stuff.
I'm good,
so
thanks.
It's only 7 seasons in a movie.
Yeah.
Oh.
Come on.
We'll just watch that after I'm done One Piece.
We did that. We also, and that's with Eddie's wife Holly. And then we've got an episode where we talk about the music we're listening to and B movies. Our favorite has so far has been Jesus Christ Vampire Hunter. It is untouchable in terms of like great B movies. But we've reviewed so many at this point that we are running out of options.
Did you do
almost
Velocipaster?
Yeah.
Well, we watched Velocipaster first. So I think we did an honorary episode for it.
Okay,
But we watched that before we even started those reviews. And yeah, if we're talking about all B movies, that's the best. And I am curious about the sequel.
Oh, yeah. I'm excited for the sequel.
Have you watched Rubber yet?
I know of it, but I don't think we reviewed that one
No,
yet.
we haven't watched that one yet.
You ready? This is my sales pitch, and this is probably going to be your next episode.
Hit me.
It's a tire that gets psychokinetic powers and can blow things up with its mind.
I mean, the idea alone sells me.
Have you watched Attack of the Killer Tomatoes? That was a classic in my family.
No, we did Attack of the Killer Donuts.
Yeah.
Attack of the Killer
Which was
Tomatoes is
awful.
good. Is super good. I'm
See,
like,
the problem we've run into is like we're running out of quote unquote clean B movies that aren't like there for sexual reasons alone. That's the problem we're running into. But
that's fair.
Yeah, like you can
Very
find more
fair.
B movies, but I don't think we're going to put the torture chamber of Dr. Sadism up on our show. Though, fun fact, that does star Christopher Lee.
Wow, really?
Yeah,
That's a tough one then.
I'd watch that.
So
Because
then we got,
on one hand is Christopher Lee. On the other hand, sadism.
yeah, so and then finally we got our main show, which is History and Hypotheticals, where that's where most of our main bits are. We talk about like weird crimes in history. We talk about hypothetical situations and what we would do in them. We've got I'm gonna blank on the other 2 bits. Eddie, help me out.
so did you do hot takes? We do hot takes. And
Yeah, hot
then
takes.
If you were wacky crimes in different times.
Yeah, I talked about that one. I feel like I'm missing one right at the beginning.
Yeah, there's the first one, which is I don't remember, but there's a
Yeah,
fourth
we're
one
good
at
at
the
this. Yeah. And then we occasionally have guests on. And for those guest episodes, we either put them on a regular episode or we do something really weird. Like we just had Cassie, my wife, on about a couple of weeks ago to do a game where she knows nothing about Pokemon or very, very little. And we had her guessing like Pokemon names based on appearance alone. We just showed her a picture.
Awesome.
And that episode, with no comments or anything, somehow garnered over like, I think it's almost up to 100 now, which is record breaking
95.
for us. Yeah, 95. We
That's
don't know
awesome.
how or why or what happened because it was such an off the walls episode. But
Now that
Yeah.
is one of my favorite episodes that you guys have done, because I did a very similar thing with a quiz where I showed my mom
Mhm.
Pokemon
Oh, I
and she gave
remember
them
that.
names, and then Matt had to try and guess which one my mom named.
That
I
was
remember
a
that was one of my
wild
I,
favorite.
I watched that
episodes.
episode. I know that one.
I know him. I know that one.
You know what's crazy? Even with Eddie's view, it's still our least like listened to episode.
Dude,
Which
that's
is wild.
That was
easy.
fun. I enjoyed that one.
And so like it's cool to look at the dichotomy of like your best episode but our worst episode. So maybe Cassie's just better than my mom?
I don't know. I mean, your mom had some of the greatest names for Pokemon I think I've ever heard. I think I even commented about a couple or messaged you about a couple because I listened to these at work
Mhm.
and trying not to like burst out laughing in a patient's room in a hospital because you've heard some off-the-wall Pokemon name from Connor's mom,
Yeah.
it's really difficult.
Oh yeah, that's fair.
Dude, your show continues to be hilarious. After last week's, which I listened to today, I want to hire you or your mom to name all my Pokemon in Brilliant Diamond. Crying laughing emoji. I was losing it at Terry the Platypus. Eddie, let's see if you remember what Pokemon was Terry the Platypus.
Was it Quagsire?
Nope.
What's really funny is I took the quiz and I don't remember which one is Terry the Platypus.
Matt, at this point, we don't expect you to remember anything.
It
That's
has
fair.
to be. It has to be
Is it
Psyduck. Because I don't
Is it
remember.
Psyduck or Golduck?
It is Psyduck. That's very
Okay,
good.
All right, there you go.
Man.
Second try.
Look at Eddie. So clever.
Oh.
Speaking of clever,
Hey!
you guys ready to do your turn on the Clever Boy quiz?
I am so ready. I've been preparing for this since I was born.
I'm always quizzing Shane. Well, I guess Shaner's quizzing me too, but I always stump Shaner. So I'm ready to be stumped. I'm ready to go.
Shaner went back in time just to
Mhm.
tell his young baby infant self about the Garlic Boy quizzes and saying, I don't know when it'll come. I don't know where it'll come, but it'll come. And then Mike
Study
said,
everything.
study everything and be prepared for the quiz.
There's so much backstory and lore that you'd have to explain to a child just to understand. There will be a podcast one day called The Garlic Boys, where friends who met in college will quiz each other on random things in a quiz called the Clever Boy Quiz.
Don't pay attention to any of the details. Just remember these key details. Garlic Boys, college.
Harry the Platypus. Remember that. Alrighty. Well, this week's quiz is Waynesburg. I barely know Berg.
Oh my gosh.
That's a good topic.
Okay.
So I will be quizzing you three on our alma mater, Waynesburg University.
I hate this
This is
already.
where we all
I'm
met,
ready.
all became friends, and let's see if you remember anything about it.
I might have an advantage. I've lived there longer than I don't live there now, but I lived there longer than I think any of you did. So
True. That's fair.
fair warning.
Well, let's see how you do, Shaner. Question number 1 for Shaner. About how many academic concentrations does Waynesburg have?
Jeez. All right.
Okay, I don't want to steal Matt's thunder.
You want to
But
tell
I
me you
might
hate
be
me?
feeling some emotion towards you that is the opposite of hate, or no, the opposite of love.
The
Dude,
opposite of
we're
hate?
we're in the first question, my dude.
Yeah, I know.
This
but
is only gonna get worse.
I'm gonna go with are you asking how many different majors?
Academic concentrations, yes.
Okay.
Quick, Shaner, keep talking. I'm gonna grab my handbook. Your RV.
Oh,
I do not still have that. I think I burned
I
it.
do still have mine.
Nice.
I think I feel like I'm gonna under guess because I'm thinking this wrong.
This is only for Shaner, right?
Yes.
Mhm.
Okay. Can I help him?
If you
And
think,
you're competing against me, I think.
I mean, you guys
Oh,
are
okay.
competing
All
against each other right now.
Okay, that's fair.
Uh,
All right, I'll shut up. You suck, Shaner. I hate you. There you go. I got it in.
Oh.
I got it in.
Okay, I'm gonna go with 20. Final answer. I feel like I'm way under guessing that, but
So you said final answer?
yeah, final answer for sure.
That is incorrect.
Oh yeah, tell me how much incorrect.
There were about 70 concentrations at Waynesburg
Okay.
University.
Only
There-
about 50 off.
There could be 20
Just a few.
like bold headlines, but underneath them are like specific majors.
Okay.
And so
70.
like Matt, probably you a degree in criminology, right? But like there's more to that, right?
Sure.
Cool. Thanks for participating. Eddie, question number 1 for you. Oh man, I misspelled that word. How many male RAs were usually on staff at our campus?
Okay, so some clarification. RA's total between all buildings?
Out of all of the male dorms, how many were on staff?
Okay.
I was an RA and I don't even know this.
I think I could get this one if this were my question.
Yeah, I mean, you can like mathematically like probably figure this one out. Okay. I'm gonna think out loud here for the listeners. So, my memory serves me right. There were 2 mill buildings. There was no, sorry, not 2. That's incorrect. 3. There's Thayer, there's Martin, and then there was the big fancy one, which I don't remember, but I sat at the bottom of the hill. I don't know why I don't remember that one. So there's 3. Now Thayer had 3 floors. The first floor did not have anyone. No, that's a lie. It did have like a small group building. So 2 RAs on that floor. On the second floor and the third floor, I think there was like 4 each. So that would be 8. So 10. And then I don't see. I never really went to Martin because I was afraid of being murdered or mortally injured. So I didn't really go over there.
Which is fair. Martin was the worst.
Prison.
Though I admit they probably had the most fun. But details aside, I don't know how many floors over there.
We had a slip and slide down the hallway once.
I heard that story. Yeah, I heard about that story. I wish I could have been there. That sounded a lot of fun. I don't know how many floors. I'm just going to say 5 for the lack of. So I'm at 10. Let's just say 4 on each floor again. That's 20, 30. Then going over to the fancy building at the bottom of the hill. Again, I don't remember how many floors on that. I'm just going to say 5 again, which adds another 20 to the total. I'm going to say 60. That doesn't congrue with my math. No, actually, I lied. I'm going to go to 50. 50 is my total answer.
It's your final answer.
I mean,
I just yes or no, final answer.
Yeah. I guess sometimes like you wouldn't have 2 RAs per room. Sometimes you would, sometimes you wouldn't, but I don't know the math behind that. All right, 40. That's my final answer. My final answer is 40.
Sorry, Eddie, that is incorrect.
All right.
I could have been wrong about how many were in Martin, but I believe there was only about 15 male RAs. 5 in Thayer. There was 1 on each floor in Willison, which so that means there was 5 down there, and I believe there was only 5 in Martin as well.
Oh, was there 5? Yeah, there's 5. There's 5.
Okay.
Right,
Yeah,
so
I was way off.
That's 15 total. Yeah.
Matt,
Actually,
where were you in RA at?
I'm incorrect. Am I incorrect? No, there's 5. Yeah, I was in Martin.
Because there was 1 on each
fine.
floor in Martin, right?
Yeah. I
Okay.
was thinking because there was the RD on the second, third floor, whatever floor it was. On the third floor, I was thinking there wasn't an RA, but there is still an RA, even though there's RD on the floor. So, yeah,
I
Yep.
should have got that. Oh well.
that's all right.
I made these tricky on purpose because we all
Not
spent
a-
a lot of time there. So, Matt,
Technically, I only spent 2 years on campus, but you know.
Yeah, he abandoned me to get married. We had a good thing going. And then he was like, no, you know what? I want to go live with my wife. And I was like, how dare you? Sorry. That's
I'm in a
whole
happy
can of worms.
relationship.
Didn't come to my
I'm-
wedding either.
Stop. Let it go. Let it go.
I didn't even get invited to the wedding.
I didn't even know there was a
that
wedding.
well.
Question for Matt.
Yep.
What was the freshman class that all students had to take?
Oh, you gave him the easy
Seriously?
one. Come on.
Hold on. Watch.
Oh, come on, Matt.
Come on.
Okay, hold on. Let me think.
Let him cook. Let him cook.
Let him cook.
The freshman class that all students had to take. All freshmen had to take this class. Whatever. I don't know.
You got the easiest question so far.
I was over here doing math, and I'm a
This is-
writing major.
This is classic me. I mean, this is accurate.
Matt always gets the easy questions.
Thing is, I do always get the easy questions. I'm just dumb.
He's
Okay, do you at least
struggling way
remember what-
harder than you guys were with your questions.
You at least remember what you did in that class.
No, no, I don't. Okay, I do. So I remember who was in my class. Does that count? I don't remember what it was called. Thomas Fay was in my class.
Can I steal his point if I answer the question?
Oh, I can answer this question. Come on.
I know you both know it. That's why I didn't ask you this question.
I don't remember. I don't remember what the class name was.
Wait,
It's
can I give him a
in the
hint?
school
Can I give him a hint?
motto. It's in
If-
the school motto.
Yeah, can we give him a hint so he doesn't get a point, but he can still guess it?
It's that
It's
You know
in
what?
Latin.
It's Latin.
yeah.
You don't think that's gonna help him at all?
Yeah, I don't know.
No,
Think the
I'm
lamp. Think like the school lamp, and there's like words around the lamp.
Yeah, come
Yeah,
on,
yeah,
man.
yeah.
Don't you remember the logo? Every word on the logo?
Yes, I
on.
totally remember the logo, every word on the logo. It's right there in the vault, but the vault
Dude,
is locked today, all right? I can't
This isn't
know what to
Fallout
tell you.
3.
It's 7 letters.
I don't know. I really don't.
Matt, it was Fiat Lux.
Fiat Lux. What a dumb,
Bro.
stupid name. I hated that when I took it.
Apparently dumb enough for you to forget. Jeez.
Yeah, I can't tell you how much I hated some of the stuff that I had to do at Waynesburg.
Oh, hey,
No.
listen, I'm in the same place, but that class was so unique from all the other ones. Like the stuff they had us do. I had to play a Jeopardy themed sex themed Jeopardy in that class.
That's
A
wild.
Jeopardy themed sex?
I got the words mixed on my brain.
I
Sex-themed
think
Jeopardy.
I think Mr. Gehring was my teacher for that class, and we didn't do anything. We got out very early most days. Yeah, no, it's all coming back to me now, but
I
not when I'm
remember
answering the question. I'm out of school now, so I can't be punished for this. But on a related note to like not doing the academic, whatever. I had Ezekiel for a class.
Oh.
I had
is
him.
that the guy from Nigeria?
Yeah.
Okay.
I had him for a class, and he said that he would be able to tell, like he was very adamant that if we did not go to any of the things that we were supposed to go to, like going to different churches and stuff. I don't remember exactly what the exact prompt was, but if we didn't do those things and we tried to fake a paper, he would know. And I faked, I think, 2 of the 3 or 4 papers. He had no idea. He was like, yep, that's exactly the type of thing that I had, the similar situation that I had when I went and visited a church of this type. I was like, yeah, I'm sure it was. Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah, I took one of his classes, and the only thing he ever told me that I remember was that my paper, he wrote in the comments on one of my papers, the amount of spelling errors in this paper makes it seem like it was written late at night or while half asleep. And I was like, yeah,
he
it was.
wrong?
I was like, yeah, it was written late at night while half asleep. You didn't have to say it. Be professional. And I think he called me Shane for like 90% of the semester, and we just didn't correct him.
Nice.
Well, there you go. Well, Shane, next question is for you. Speaking of sports, what NCAA division is Waynesburg a part of?
So is the answer going to be a number? That's my, like, is it, do I answer 2 or is there a name for it?
Whatever you think gives me the correct
Great.
answer.
Yeah, great. I'm going to go with 3.
Final answer?
No, 2. Final answer. 2. Going with my gut.
Your gut was wrong, my guy.
It was at 3.
Isn't
It
it
was
like
3.
Oh, are you
man.
kidding me?
We are in Division 3 PAC. I don't know if the PAC was important, but that's what it said on the website.
PAC is the president's something or other conference. It's like the conference that you play in, like the number of colleges that are in the conference. But Division 3 is like the level. So like Division 1 is like You know, you guys are in sports. I'm not even gonna try. Keep
See-
solid.
It would have right over my
D1
head.
athletes are usually the ones that you hear about, like that's with the March Madness and college basketball and everything.
Alabama.
It's those level of school. Then there's D2, and then there's us down in D3.
What's the fourth one?
I think it's D4.
I didn't know
Division
D4
4, guys. And then
I
there's
didn't know
Division
D4. I thought
5.
it was like community college type thing.
I could be
Division
wrong on
6.
there being a Division 4. I know there was one in high school football because that's what my school was in. So like I could be wrong about it.
Okay,
Division-
yeah. So high school is a different thing. Like those divisions are based on like high school pop. I mean, so is college, but like high school is more because there's more diverse and numbers in high school.
Division-
so that's a bit
division-
different.
Division 4 is juvie schools like Arch Junior Republic.
You look
know,
that
it's
up.
like no, I'm just pulling things out of my
okay.
butt right now.
Do you guys remember that episode of Zoe 101 where they created a frisbee golf team and the only other team that they could play against was a bunch of kids from juvie, and they somehow came up with a plan to escape by throwing the frisbee over a hill. One kid goes over and he's like, I can't get it, I need help. So they let another one of the inmates go, and they're just like, we still can't get it. So eventually all of the inmates are just running away.
Everybody needs a buddy.
Dude, I miss that show.
It was so bad.
Eddie, question number 2.
Hmm.
What was the name of the touring choir for the university?
This is for me.
Yes, you're
That's
Eddie.
what I said for Eddie.
Man, I was part of this too. And
I know
Okay.
this one.
You can do it, buddy.
The touring choir.
The touring choir.
Okay, the Lamplighters. Final answer.
That is correct.
Got him.
I thought he was going with the touring choir, and I was
did think that was your answer.
There was so much confidence behind that. I'm so like pleasantly surprised.
It's because I reported a lot on y'all. I remember that.
Oh, that's
Nice.
true.
It's very impressed.
freaking comm
Mhm.
majors.
Yeah, I know a lot of stuff.
I was very impressed. Now let's get ready to get let down. Matt, question number 2.
Yeah.
So now that we know the school's motto, Fiat Lux, what does it mean in English?
Something light.
Well, you got
Lux-
half of it.
Lux is light. And I'm gonna go. We're a Bible college, so let there be light. That's definitely not
Final
right.
answer.
Final answer.
Matt, that is correct.
No way.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. That's
Lucky
so
guess.
exciting.
Lucky guess.
Great. Now I'm one behind. Great.
Shaner, there's no way you can win. All you can
Yeah.
hope for is a tie. So,
Yeah, you know what? Let's tie it.
alrighty, ready?
If this is another sports question,
No, it's not a sports question. Question number 3. What was the radio frequency for the school station WCJY?
I know this one. It's 99.5. The Hive is what they called it. Final answer. I feel like you're all
That's
looking.
not
at
what
it.
he asked.
He said the radio frequency.
That's
Yes,
the radio channel.
that's what I'm asking for, though.
Oh,
but
sorry. Okay.
So
he-
final
he-
answer.
well, you haven't given a complete answer. Do you want me to accept it complete?
I'm confused. Repeat the question. I know this isn't my question, but now I'm confused.
What was the radio frequency for the school station WCJY?
I'm gonna go with 99.5. The Hive. Final answer. But I don't know what I'm missing.
All
I have
right,
a
final
theory.
answer.
Theory on
Yeah.
what you're missing, but I don't know.
So you tell me if you think this should be incorrect or not, Eddie.
Okay.
He gave us 99.5 the Hive, right?
Sure.
If I was going to ask you for the frequency, what would you say?
Honestly, I wouldn't be able to tell you that because that's like the channel, like 99.5. It's 99.5. That's like
Right.
what the channel is, but 99.5 the Hive is like
Am I
the
missing FM?
catchphrase, you know?
Now, are you looking for FM?
Yes, I am.
that's
that
the
was
other thing. Yeah, like okay. Nah,
That's
I
what I
would
was thinking.
I would say no because like I'm pretty sure you get. Okay, actually, I don't know that. I'm not.
Don't
ready
don't
with that,
you
but-
need the FM to know?
No, yeah,
Not-
because it could be AM. It could be
Right.
AM.
Yeah, nobody
Well,
uses AM.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If
NPR
anybody,
does.
if anybody was going through, they would automatically already be on FM because again, nobody listens to AM.
Right.
So
yeah.
like you could just say 99.5 and they'd be like, okay, 99.5.
Yeah, people would automatically know what you meant. So
Actually, I'm pretty sure even in the radio station, they just say 99.5 The Hive. I don't
I'd
think I've
give
ever
it
heard
to
them say
them personally.
All right, if they're agreeing with you, I'll give you that point.
Thanks, you guys were in my corner.
I
Thanks,
would say
Matt.
no
Thanks, Daddy.
personally because I hate Shaner, but that's
Fine, thanks, Matt.
Actually, yeah, Shaner does suck. Don't give him the points. All right, Eddie, your final question. What was the first building on campus?
I know what it is. I can see the picture of it in my mind. I just can't remember the name of it.
All right,
I don't
Eddie, what's your
remember.
answer?
Okay,
He was a
so
ghost.
I know what building it is. I can picture in my mind. It's the building to the east of the administration building, essentially. It's that building there. I think it's called Miller Hall. I don't know if that's right, though. So my final answer is Miller Hall, but I know that's the building. I just can't think of the name of it.
Final answer?
Yeah, they have a bunch of business classes there. I took a class in there once. Yeah, final answer Miller Hall. Miller Hall.
Miller Hall was the first building built on campus, but the
Okay.
campus was started in Hannah Hall, which is directly next door, and is where is why Waynesburg actually won the bid for the college to start in Waynesburg. It's because they already had the building built.
Okay, I want to point something out here because Eddie, we're co-hosts, so I'm going to try to defend him a little bit. He was
Thank you.
talking about Hannah Hall because he did say a building to the east with the business building, with business classes in it, but he did answer wrong. But
yes,
he did
but he
have the
gave
right
me
building.
he gave me the wrong name of the building.
That's fine.
Yeah.
I got it wrong. That's
I
fine.
tried, Eddie. I tried.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
I fully was hoping he said Hannah Hall because you did describe it perfectly,
Yeah.
and
You
then
know
you
what's
just jumped off
wild?
a cliff.
You know what's really wild? Up until you said all these names, the only building I could remember was Buell. That's the only building I could remember. So if you had asked me this question, I would have said Buell, 100%. It's not even remotely
You
right.
cannot remember what dorm you stayed in?
Oh, well, Martin. I knew that. I knew the
That's
dorm,
another
but
building.
Yeah, that's another
I
building.
more meant like the
The class buildings.
Couldn't remember Stover,
nope. Not
the
until you just said
G-Pack.
it. Not until you just said it.
the Benedum Dining Hall.
Well, the dining hall.
Yeah, but it was called the Benedum Dining Hall.
I wouldn't
Stewart.
remember either.
Stewart Hall.
The Cred.
Nope.
The
Nope.
gymnasium that I don't remember the name of.
There's the old gym and the new gym.
And the Chick-fil-A.
I even know why it's
Frustrating.
called Hannah Hall. I know who it's named after. I just couldn't remember the name. I know the whole story, but sorry, continue.
Matt, this is your final question. If
I
you
love it.
get this right, you win.
All
You get
right.
this wrong, you all tie, and I don't have a tiebreaker question.
Okay.
Okay,
Ask
I have,
something
I
about
have a proposition. If we tie, we ask Connor a question. If he gets it wrong, we win. He loses.
I like that. I like that.
Okay, bet.
All right,
Sorry,
Matt,
continue.
your last question. What was the student given name to the lake in Fountain Park?
The lake? There's a lake? Oh, you know what? I know what lake you're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
I have heard this. It is stored in here somewhere. I don't know even remotely.
Do you want me to tell you the first word?
Sure.
Lake.
Oh, yeah. Yep. That's fair. Lake.
Sorry.
I said Lake Latifah.
Final
No,
answer.
That's wrong. I'm gonna kick myself in the tuchus for not knowing this because I do know it. Lake Latifah.
Sorry, Matt, that is incorrect.
I know.
It was Lake Juanita.
Juanita.
Ooh, that's pretty close though. That
Yeah,
was
you
close.
weren't. Yeah, it wasn't too bad.
Actually, that's not the name that I heard. Okay, it's fine.
That
I
was
don't
the
know
name
what I
I was
heard,
always
so-
told and like confirmed with other people who like used to
Yeah.
go to the college. Well, that unfortunately means that all of you are tied as loser. And given what Eddie asked for, you get to ask me one question about the university. And if I get it wrong, then you win. But if I get it right, you all lose.
Yeah.
Here's what we're going to do. I'm going to take my headphones off and I'm going to set a timer for exactly 2 minutes. You have 2 minutes to discuss what you think the question should be. And then
all right.
we go.
Sounds good.
So, headphones off. I have muted my computer so I can no longer hear you at all. And your time starts now.
That's a
So
little
Connor,
creepy.
quick question. How much? So you had to confirm some things, right, on the internet.
I did.
How did you go about confirming that? Can I ask before we ask the question?
Wikipedia.
That's
All right.
fine.
Well,
Our question works then because I use the same method.
okay. I just hope he didn't come across this as he was looking, and then
well,
like
I mean,
it
if he
refreshes
did, he
memory.
did. Like, there's nothing we can do about
If
it.
I know, Matt. That's not your fault.
Yeah,
I'm
but
just
if
better
you
than you.
saw it on, see, the problem is if I would have done any sort of research on anything, I would have remembered all of the hall names. I would have remembered everything.
This is your argument every single time you
Because,
lose a quiz.
but Connor, I went to Waynesburg. I know all of this stuff. I just can't remember it at this moment in time.
That's
So
what
that's-
makes the victory so much sweeter, Matt. If we
I
stump
think
on
even
the
if he
year,
looked this
we'll be
up,
good.
he wouldn't remember. You know
All
what
right.
I'm saying? Like he would have passed by in small detail. I don't think he did a question on
That's
his study
fair.
yet.
That's fair.
Right.
Connor, what was the name of the museum that was underneath whichever hall it was underneath?
Miller Hall.
Miller Hall.
The Miller Hall Museum, I believe the name changed because the old choir director that actually started the choir on campus, who I believe his name was Fuzzy, actually started the museum as well. And it was dedicated to him, I believe. I could be fully wrong about this, but I believe that's the truth. And I believe his name was Francis.
There's like a tingly in the back of my head that says you're right, but I can't confirm that. I can't confirm that. I'll look it up. You keep going.
I believe his name was Francis. I don't remember if it was exactly named after him. Goodness, the museum. Another thing that we had to go to because of Fiat Lux.
Yeah.
Frank something. Frank. Oh boy, do I wish I remembered that and have actually looked it up at all during my initial search. Because there is a section for notable alumni on the Waynesburg Wikipedia.
Uh-huh.
But did I look at it? No.
I remember when Fuzzy died. Oh my gosh, everyone was so upset and put the whole hullabaloo. I hadn't heard of the guy before he died. Not to decrease
I
his,
got to
his
see him
merits and stuff.
speak there when I was in like 6th grade. I think I went to a dinner there with our church group or something, and he was the primary speaker, and he like sang a song for the whole audience. It was great. He was a really cool dude.
wild.
I knew he was a big guy, like a big deal for the campus, but like I had never met him either. And so like I mean I wasn't as callous as Eddie was, but it was like, oh, I don't feel anything right now. And I know there are some people that are sad.
Eddie just strolled into Miller Hall and saw the people crying, went, man, who died?
I just say what everyone truly feels. Okay, let's face it. We didn't care because we didn't know him. Obviously, it's sad he died. I mean, he did some great things. But as the students in the year 2022, we don't care.
Yeah.
Or 2020. I think
I
is
won't
when it
say I
happened.
don't care. I do still have a soul.
Well, that's what I mean. Like, it's sad someone died, but like, there's no attachment.
Do you know what's crazy? He's not even on the list of notable alumni.
Really?
Yeah.
Are you
That's
sure
crazy.
you don't? Do you know his actual name?
I'm pretty sure it was Francis, and
It is definitely not.
I think it was Frank. I don't know. Maybe I do not know what I'm talking about, but
All right, you're stalling. What's the answer?
I'm not stalling.
You're Stalin.
It's the Fuzzy Memorial Museum. I'm just gonna go with that.
That was a solid answer. Is that your final answer?
Yeah.
Connor, I'm sorry, but that is incorrect, which makes us the winners of this quiz.
Yeah. Suck it, Connor.
The
Through
museum,
no skill of your own.
the museum was the Paul R. Stewart Museum, and it was named after the president from some time period. Guy you were talking about was James D. Fuzzy Randolph.
Okay, I still don't think he was on that list.
You don't think I hope James Fuzzy Randolph was on that list.
The way they acted when he died, it sounded like he was. I don't know.
It sounds like he's like the most important person on the whole freaking campus.
Oh, see,
right,
Matt
all right,
gets
all
it.
right,
He's
all
got the
right.
attitude. He gets
Oh
it.
my goodness, guys. This guy's dead. You don't have to keep you don't flog a dead horse. Hold on.
I really like speaking of the dead. I think it's a funny pastime, and they're probably looking down from heaven or up from hell. I don't know, and they're laughing with me. So
Hey, wait, Connor, I had a question for you. I was going to ask you this question, but I couldn't remember if you were in. Were you in teaching the Bible with me?
I was not.
Oh, okay, then never mind.
What was your question?
My question was going to be what room did we hold the class in? So I didn't know if you'd remember that, but now I found out you weren't even in that class with me.
Yeah, that was the
Was that in
second
the
question we
upstairs?
had for you.
Was that the upper floor of Miller Hall?
No.
Hmm.
It was in the auditorium in Buell.
Ah. Do you know the upper room in Miller Hall is actually where they used to hold chapel before the chapel was built?
Yeah, I can see that.
Yep.
And the chapel was built on the old tennis courts, and it was only a year old. I think it was either a year or 5 years old. 5 years old when Matt and I started at Waynesburg, and it was already starting to sink into the ground.
Mhm. It's fun. You can walk along and see the concrete holes where they're continually pumping concrete in.
Yeah.
you can see like the caulking on the bottom, like just coming up and splitting. It's
Great.
wonderful. It's so safe. Absolutely. Just like I can't wait. Sorry, Waynesburg again. I can't wait for the day where it just like goes sliding down the hill. Like it's
Okay,
just like
see,
a runaway
okay,
building.
Hoping for demise. That's a whole different level
Okay,
of psychotic.
hold on.
That is more psychotic than Eddie's cheering on
Yeah,
his death.
yeah.
Hold
I'm
on.
not cheering for his death.
First of
I
all,
believe you fully said, "Oh my gosh, I'm so glad he's dead."
I was being sarcastic. Shana, I was being sarcastic. Come on.
You know,
listen, I had a good but also absolutely redonkulously terrible time at that school, and as long as people are safe, save maybe one or two people, as long as people are safe, that building can come down all at once, and I would not be upset.
There were so many good things about that college, but there were way too many bad things.
Yes,
I
that's
could
what I'm
think of a
saying.
couple people that want to be in that building when it slides down the
Yes,
hill.
thank you.
Eddie knows exactly who I'm talking about. I hope.
Now, Shaner, would you like to name the professor, or do you want to keep that a little secret?
Oh,
Okay.
so
okay, hold
I
on,
don't
hold
think
on.
they'd ever listen to this show, and I'm not the only one who has badmouthed this person on the air.
Okay,
If it's the same professor I'm thinking of, there's
It's
no
not
way
a
they're listening to
professor.
anything
Oh,
I've done.
Yeah.
I know who you're thinking of, Connor, and mine's not a professor.
Yes.
No?
I want to
is it-
say, but I
okay.
want to guess what professor you're thinking of. It's got to be either.
There's one. There's one for me.
I can think of two for Connor, and it's either Dr. Carpathian or
I
Richard
forgot about
Richard
that
Blake.
crypt keeper.
Oh, I met her at Waynesburg after she retired in
Oh, my
Walmart. She was
goodness.
wearing shorts. It was weird.
Oh,
Oh,
Why would you add that?
Because
So-
if you knew Dr. Carpathian,
that's a weird
So-
thing.
yeah,
so
Should
here's
not wear shorts.
here's the thing. Here's the thing, Shaner. Dr. Carpathian is definitely one of the worst professors I ever had, but like she gave me good grades, and so it was fine.
did you get my second guess?
Your second guess was actually super wrong. Dr. Blake was one of my favorite professors I had, mainly because he called me a good Jew once in class.
Oh my
I could see him
lord!
doing that.
We were talking about Old Testament laws in Old Testament class, and I sat right in front of him. He let me sleep every day because it was an 8 a.m. class on Tuesday, Thursday, and only woke me up once because I started snoring. But I remember like there was one time where like I was awake, and he was talking about how like Jewish people shouldn't cut their hair or shave their beards, and then he was like, like Connor, he'd be a good Jew.
I mean, aside from the fact that you're Jewish, that is so horrible to say. You can't.
Nobody
say
knows
that.
I'm Jewish though. He
I
didn't know
know.
it was.
You can't say
Jewish?
that. Yes, he's
Like-
Jewish.
Like family, like genealogically Jewish.
Well, that's what threw me off. I didn't think
not
that.
culturally Jewish, but he is Jewish in his genes. But
Sure.
you can't say that. It's 2023. It was 2020 or
Richard Blake could say
19, 18 or
whatever he
17.
wanted. Was.
Do you know what my favorite class we took together was though?
Oh, I know this one. It's with we all sat in the back. It was me, you, Kevin, and who was the fourth one
was
back
Clay.
there? Clay. It was not teaching the Bible. It was shoot. I remember this one because it's so many
So
good
the
times.
class you're thinking of is my second favorite class we took together because of that
Oh.
group of us in the back. But that was constructive theology, I think it was.
Yes, good
My
times.
my favorite was wisdom literature because it was all of us
Oh, I remember.
reading
Oh,
the most dense and forgive me, Lord, the most boring parts of the Old Testament. And Dr. Younger was teaching us. And
I know
we
exactly what you're doing.
when we got to the book of Songs, I'm not sure if either of you two are familiar with this book, but
It's super passionate, isn't it?
Oh,
passion is a very great way to describe this book. But you have basically a bunch of 20-year-olds, like late teenagers, 20-year-olds, and you're trying to read this book and seriously get to
It's
the depths
It's
of
like
it.
soft porn. Like
Yeah,
it's
honestly, yes.
it's straight porn.
It's so hard to listen to your professor read this to you and not giggle.
And not
Yeah.
just the professor, William Younger, of all people, the most serious, upright guy you've ever met.
Yeah.
If it had been like Richard Blake, it would have been funnier. Not funnier,
Yeah.
but like funny in a different way. But with him reading it to us, and the things that came out of his mouth, I thought Connor was gonna like suffocate from laughing so hard.
me and Hannah tried our best to keep it together, and sometimes it just didn't happen. The best times are when Kevin wasn't fully paying attention, and you just hear him go, "What?"
Besides that, the only thing I remember about that class is when I think Halloween we had a class, and I wore my Gandalf costume into class, and I sat right in the front, and he looks at me and he goes, "Jacob, what are you doing?" And I was like, "It's Halloween. I'm dressed up as Gandalf." And he ended up taking my staff at the end of the class. He was like, "Can I hold this?" And he like held it up in front of the class. It was a good time.
Alrighty, guys. Well, that was the end of the quiz. We all lost. It's great.
The end of that quiz was like half an hour ago.
I didn't do my transition, and I need to do the transition back.
Yeah, but we won. So
Yeah.
Sure.
Sure.
you agreed.
Big
on the
small beard
podcast.
opinions. Do you guys have a topic for this week?
So
Just a
I mean, I got my own, but
just
like
a whole
I wasn't
podcast.
sure I wasn't sure what exactly we were doing because I was told to get a topic, and I did, and I did get a topic. But like, did you want us to come up with one that for like
I figured
collectively?
you guys would come up with one collectively, but like,
Oh,
do you guys want to do rock paper scissors to see which topic we do?
Is there
I
one
don't-
you really want to share, Shaner? Because I mean, I can forego mine.
I was just gonna talk about VR, which kind of includes you, but I'm comfortable doing whatever.
Okay, so you know what? We'll say, how about this? Me and Shaner will each share topics, and you two, Matt and Connor, get to choose which one we talk about. Does that sound fair?
Sure.
No, it sounds not sound good. Would you
No,
rather
no,
rock,
it's
paper,
good.
scissors? I'll do that.
It's good. I just Will, Connor, and I agree. Who knows?
Okay, well, if
That's
you
the
two
fun
can't
part
decide, then
about
we'll rock,
this.
paper, scissors it.
Okay, yeah, it's good. It's good.
Okay, so Shaner, your topic was VR.
Yeah, VR gaming and how I think it's the future.
Okay, so my topic was, so I'm currently creating a list of my top 5 favorite video games of all time, and I'm in the middle of it. I wanted to hear your guys' favorites and why they're your favorites.
Actually, I like that one better.
I do too.
Yeah.
No offense, Shader.
No. That's a great list. I'm in.
Look, VR gaming is good. The fact that they just need to make it so that you can actually play it longer and it's more accessible to most people, that's really what's going to make it the future. I do think you're on the right track in believing that it's going to be the future. Just when you have billionaires that are creating it and pretty much saying that the Oculus is the only good one out there, they're going to charge
Oculus
whatever they
Quest
want
2.
for it.
The Oculus Quest 2 is an affordable option. You don't need a PC to play it on, and it runs just fine. That's my sales pitch for the Oculus Quest 2. It's a standalone system. I use it. Eddie uses it. We play together all the time. It's great.
Yes, but does it AI generate eyes on the front so that when there's other people in the room with you,
I don't even want to discuss
absolutely
that
insane?
stupid thing for $3,500.
It's so cheap.
You just go around looking like Maz Kanata all day long.
All right. Favorite video games. What hit us with what you've got so far, Eddie? As he takes a drink. Wow, so professional.
Right when we
Sorry,
cut
Matt's joke killed me, and like I was dying. Okay, so so as I said, I'm currently in the middle because like I've never actually made like a concrete list, and I don't know what spurred me to do it now, but I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna make a top 5 right now. In my, I whittled it down to below 10. So far, I'm not here to like share my list. I'm want to learn ways to consider what are my favorite games, because all these I can consider my favorites. But like, what are like my favorites? That's what I want to hear from you guys. What do you think? But anyways, I can share my list so far. So, Pokemon Heart Gold / Soul Silver. I think those are the best Pokemon games ever made. There's room for debate. There's room for debate. But
we'll definitely discuss that for sure.
Yeah, I consider that's fine. Dark Souls #1. Undertale. We get a lot of hate for that one, but Undertale. Terraria, Rocket League, Destiny, Super Smash Bros. Melee, and the Mario Kart. Any of them, I don't care. So that's what I've like whittled it down to.
Okay, well, there's definitely a hierarchy of the Mario Karts, but we could get into
I know,
that.
yeah, I know. Like I haven't. So like I've played Double Dash and then the Wii one. Those are the two I predominantly played.
Double Dash is the best one. There you go.
Is Double Dash the one for the DS?
GameCube,
where you can have 2 people on the same cart and you can switch them.
You need to go. The DS is the best Mario Kart.
Oh, okay, I played the DS too. I played the DS too.
Because the DS Mario Kart is where it introduced that the more coins you have, the faster you go.
But
that was
bro,
the 3DS.
Wait,
Wasn't that the 3DS Mario Kart?
There's 2 different ones. There's the DS and the 3DS.
I don't believe that was on the DSi. The
I don't think so, because I never had that happen on the DSi.
I believe it was on the 3DS. I believe it was on the 3DS, and they might have made it backwards compatible. Like you
I don't know. I owned both games, so I'm not sure. Or both systems.
In the new Mario Kart 8, I don't believe the coins affect your speed anymore.
They still do.
Do they really?
Mm-hmm.
I've never noticed. I guess just because I'm always winning. So.
What's up with Rocket League, dude? Why are you why are you gaming like a 12-year-old?
It's okay.
Did you not want to put Fall Guys on there, so you put Rocket League instead?
My favorite game is Wii Sports.
It's the only game I've ever bought twice. First of all, so that's like a stat.
Bought it?
I've bought it twice. Yeah, I bought it. So I first got it like the year or 2 after it first came out on the PS4. And then when I moved to college, I wanted a game I could play with my friend. And Rocket League was one of the only games I could run on my DK laptop. So that's why I rebought it. Now, it was only like, I think it was like $30 the first time, $15 the second time. So it wasn't like a big, huge spender.
That's fair. I've bought Skyrim at least 6 times.
Yeah.
Exactly. You're an enabler, Matt. You're the reason we keep getting Skyrim special releases.
Yeah.
You're an enabler. You are enabling Todd Howard.
That's me.
Yeah.
Buy the new game.
Starlight or like Starfield. That looks crazy.
Starfield, I'm getting.
It's not like it's GTA where they haven't made a new game.
Yeah.
I bought that at least 3 times.
It's the same game from 2007.
I know. I have a problem. I like new stuff. I like new
You know what?
skins and new features. I love that stuff. I love it.
You know what? I'm not gonna get upset with you because we both purchased we got shared custody of Pokemon Sword.
Yeah.
And then he had it because he was the only one to Switch. And so when I got
Yeah.
my Switch, I bought Shield, which is basically just the same game.
Sure.
Yeah.
So, anyways,
that's
Rock-
another thing we have to talk about with Pokemon.
Yes.
is they're
So
making
Heart
the
Gold,
same
Soul,
games.
Silver.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think they're the best Pokemon games ever made, personally.
And
Now, I know
Platinum
they're
exists right in front of you.
Huh?
Platinum exists, and you're gonna say that?
Can you give us reasons? Like,
Okay, Heart Gold, and so the base game, Gold and Silver. First of all, they are like not counting remakes, they're the best games ever made. Okay, because you get 2 regions in one. You get Johto, and then you go back to Kanto. You get to revisit everything, and then you can go fight Red at the end. Like, it's just so much content and bang for your buck. You visit 2 different regions. I think you just content-wise, story-wise, it's pretty good. Now, you can argue that Black and White have the best story, which is fair. That's a good reason. But I think overall game and what Pokemon is, Gold and Silver are the best. And then Heart Gold and Soul Silver just like an update of that. So
okay.
that's my reason.
Dude, Emerald is sitting right there.
Hey,
just
and so
waiting
is
to be
Platinum.
appreciated.
that's a great game too.
See, Platinum and Emerald are on the same level to me because they took their original game, remade it, but made it better.
Yeah.
Platinum fixed a lot of problems that Diamond and Pearl had, and honestly, so did Emerald.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Heart Gold and Soul Silver are remakes of a game that was bad when it came out, or was good when it came out, but was bad by that point, and just tried to like add a bunch of new things into it. It's the same reason why Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire are mid games at best.
And so is
Listen.
Shining Diamond and Brilliant Pearl.
Listen, guys.
Oof.
Sword and Shield are right there. Sword and Shield as the best games of the whole series had the best starters. It had the best story.
No.
Dude, Sword
Sinnoh
and-
had the
Sword
best
and-
starters.
Sword and Shield aren't even the best games of the 8th gen. Okay.
No, they're definitely the best games overall.
No, Pokemon Arceus is the best Pokemon game that's
Oh
ever been
my
created.
god. Okay.
I
You know what? It was
actually
great
agree.
having a show with you guys.
Okay.
I gotta go. Like,
You didn't like Arceus?
You didn't like Pokemon Arceus?
Oh, I haven't played it, but from what I've seen, it just
You
looks
haven't
dead.
played it?
No, I've
It's
seen
so
it.
good. Oh my
It
goodness.
just looks so empty. It looks so boring.
It's so not. You have to try it. You have
No,
to
I'm
try
not saying the whole game, just like the world itself. It just looks dull and boring. It's like empty.
No, it's not.
it.
It's
literally
Breath of the Wild meets Pokemon.
yeah.
I don't know.
It's
I was
try-
not impressed with what I saw. But again, I've not played the game, so I'll, zip it.
So disappointing. How do you do
Hey man,
this?
you
dude?
buy me a Switch and I'll play it. Deal?
How do you live with yourself?
Don't even own a Switch?
I don't own a Switch now.
That's disappointing. It's a good system. Probably one of the
I
best.
spent all my money moving to Kansas, so I got to recoup somehow.
That's fair. Can I give my favorite games now? I've been waiting.
yeah,
I've
yeah,
been
go
biding
for it.
time.
Thank you so much for listening to this week's episode.
I'll be quick. Because they're good games and nobody can really debate them. First of all, God of War Ragnarok. I love that game with all of my heart and soul.
Sure.
Second game, literally any of the Spyro games. There's probably my favorite
Sure.
one in there, but they're amazing games. You're wrong, Shaner.
That's like a nostalgia thing. Like that's like liking a Crash Bandicoot. Like they're good
Yeah,
games.
but Spyro is way better.
Right,
than
hey,
Crash
I'm
Bandicoot.
just saying it's like the same ball field.
Yeah.
I had a Crash Bandicoot racing game where you could race as Spyro.
Yes. I
Yeah.
I've
remember
played
that
that.
game. I've had
played
that game.
Yeah.
Skyrim. Obviously, I've bought 18 different copies of it.
Sure.
Batman: Arkham Asylum.
Normie.
Mhm.
No.
I'd say it goes Night City Asylum.
I see. For me, it's Asylum the Knight. I love Arkham Knight so much. I love it so much. but I definitely like Arkham Asylum better. I don't know. It's fine. And I had another one. Oh, Mass Effect. I love the third Mass Effect, I think. Yeah, I think the third Mass Effect's my favorite.
Sure.
Oh, and Breath of the Wild. That's a given. I didn't even have that on my list because it's my favorite video game of all time. Although I haven't played Tears of the Kingdom. I don't know if it's better or worse.
It is
I've
much
heard it's
better. It should be game of the year if it's not somebody's wrong.
I don't know. We'll see about Starfield. That looks really sick.
Starfield looks pretty great. Jedi Survivor has been phenomenal already that I've played. Good games this year.
A lot of my games growing up were kind of constricted to Nintendo systems. I did play Arkham City when for a little while, so that's a pretty good game. Like I said, my favorite Pokemon game is Pokemon Emerald. That was the first Pokemon game I ever played. Nothing will be better than it. Breath of the Wild is also very good. Tears of the Kingdom is better. You should get a Switch just to play Tears of the Kingdom. And then, of course, I guess the best game I've ever played is the Pac-Man Adventures game for the Game Boy Advance SP, where it was an actually anthropomorphized Pac-Man running around on a 3D scape.
That's awesome. That sounds so good.
Sure.
Now, Lego Star Wars: The Complete Saga. I got that, and then I waited a few weeks until they had every single expansion pack as you can get for like $15. And so playing it with every single possible Star Wars character unlocked makes it so much fun.
Are you talking about the Skywalker saga?
Yeah.
Because the Complete Saga didn't have expansion packs.
I didn't mean that. I meant the newest one where you can literally play through anything.
It's your favorite game list, and you don't even know the name of it?
Hot take, I did not like Skywalker Saga at all. I
didn't play it.
It had such weird ways to move through the world. It's like, hey, you got to get to your next level, but also you're in a free play area, but also it might be on a different planet. It was so weird. Like I couldn't figure out how to get to the next level. I figured it out eventually, but there's just something about the Complete Saga that you cannot beat.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe
I don't know.
Lego.
The Lego games are also just like S tier games for the most part, except for Lego Marvel Heroes 2.
Yeah, that one sucks.
It's not a good storyline, and it also does the weird thing of you're in a free play mode, find out where you're supposed to be,
and it's just like a reskin of the first game. Like, I think I was looking for a new game and I bought it on my PlayStation one night and I started playing it. I'm like, wait a minute, it's the exact same map as the first game,
right?
And nothing's changed except for maybe a couple new characters.
I didn't even play the first one.
The first one's great, but the best Lego game in terms of like free roam and like playing with another person, Lego Batman 2. The amount of hours my siblings and I sunk into Lego Batman 2 exploring the map is a lot.
Is that the one where you can play as both heroes and villains in it?
I'm trying to. I think so. It's the one with the full map is just in Gotham. I don't remember.
That was so long ago that I played that.
It's one of the best ones.
Shane, are you look like you really
because there's games that aren't on your list that I'm disappointed about.
What games? I'd love to hear them.
Wait, did Connor give us his list?
Kind of.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
He was in the middle of it. He just said kind of like Nintendo.
Games.
Oh yeah, sorry, I forgot to give the best one. Wii Sports Resort.
Oh, see, that's a good game. That's a really good game. It's underrated.
Wii Sports, but Wii Sports Resort?
Resort was so much better than
Wii Sports only had 5 games. Wii Sports Resort had a ton.
And
that's also where the infamous. The plane and
the
dogfighting.
flying around in the planes and getting each of the locations. It was like finding Riddler trophies. It was
I've played it. I've played it.
Oh, I love it.
It's also where the man himself, the baddest dude to ever come out of him, Matt. That's where he came from.
No, he's from the first one. He's from Respawn.
Don't correct me.
Yes,
Okay.
he is.
Shaner, we'd
Okay.
love to hear this before we have to close.
I have got so many games that I couldn't put it on 5, but I have to list some that are my favorites, and I can't believe no one said Red Dead Redemption 2.
I love it. It's fun. I haven't finished it.
You
Never
haven't
played it.
finished it?
No, like I
Oh,
played.
do you know what happens at least?
No,
Oh, that's gonna hurt. Okay.
I
They
played-
redeem the dead red.
I
for
played
the
about
second
half.
time.
I probably played about half the game, but then I just
you
got.
aren't. Oh man. Okay.
I think I got overwhelmed with the. There's a thing. There's such a thing as like too much open world.
There is, and the thing is, what you should do is when you're done with whatever game you're playing, go back and play it. Skip the open world and just tunnel through the story, because the story itself, once you get past like the halfway mark, just becomes so good. I've played through it, I think 2 or 3 times, and I cannot even count. There's a fly. I cannot even count how many times Cassie has played through it, because she has this annoying habit of playing a game, getting about halfway through it, and then going, well, what if I did this on a separate account? Like she's got probably got like 9 Skyrim characters, like 4
same.
Fallout characters. I think now she's on her 6th run through of Hogwarts Legacy.
Oh, that's such a good game, though.
So
I
I'm
guess
not
that
quite
could've been
that
on my
bad.
list.
But okay, yeah. So Red Dead Redemption 2. And these are in no particular order except for probably best. Portal 2, a lot of good sequels. The original Battlefront 2 for the PlayStation 2. An absolute classic. And as a caveat to that, there's a VR game I found where somebody put in all the Battlefront 2 maps and put in like all the gun skins and everything, and actually shoot lasers. So that's a ton of fun. Obviously, like most of the things Bethesda's made. So Fallout 4, Fallout 3, New Vegas, Skyrim, which
76.
I don't hate it as much. I don't think it should be hated as much as everyone did. I think it's okay. It's not great, but it's not the worst thing they've ever made.
Yeah.
16 times the detail.
So, and then Far Cry 5, because it had a great story and great characters.
I was acting.
No, that's 6. Come on, Connor.
I'm just proud that I knew that was Far Cry. Okay.
You did, okay, good. Yeah, you did good on that. But if you ever want to play a Far Cry game, play 5, because that's got one of the craziest plot twist endings and also some really good voice acting. But for favorite, I'm probably gonna have to go with. Well, I didn't put Pokemon Platinum on that list either. That was a good game. Probably Battlefront 2, only because the memories I have on that game and the amount of time I've put into that game with some of my friends is probably, if I could look up a list of how many hours I've played that game, it would be scary.
I think I had Battlefront. I think it was just number 1 on
Also a great game.
on the PSP. I had it on the PSP.
Oh, that they had one specifically for the PSP, and it was
maybe it was that.
Renegade Squadron, I think, was for the PSP.
I don't know. I had a game on the PSP. It was one of the Battlefronts. It was so good, and I just played it for hours and hours and hours. I actually broke the joystick piece off of my PSP because of how much I played it. Those are good games. They're solid.
I had forgotten that I had a PlayStation 2 as a kid. And there were some games that I played on that I really enjoyed. I didn't have a memory card, and so I've never gotten to finish. I've never gotten to finish Sly Cooper: The Book of Thieves.
Oh, Sly Cooper's good too. I forgot
and
about
that was such a fun game. I think it might be a nostalgia of like I never got to know what the ending of that game was, and so that's why it was so fun to me. But then there was also this game. It was originally my dad's PS2, and then he gave it to us, and like he's just like, yeah, this is yours now, whatever. And one of the games he had was called Hot Shot Golf 4.
Yeah, I have that still.
And it was such a wildly fun golfing game.
Yeah.
And like I know that sounds like such an old man thing to say.
No, they make it fun. I don't know how they do it. They do it. It's so I love those games so much. Another good game on the PS2, Simpsons Hit and Run. I love that game so much.
The
heard that's all
PS2
good.
had
Don't play it.
so many good games on it.
It's solid games. And then the
Bangers.
PS3 happened and it was garbage. There were some
What?
good
What do you
games.
mean? The majority
PS-
of games on your list are on the PS3.
PSP, he said.
PSP.
Oh, PSP. Sorry. Right. My apologies.
Okay, I was gonna say, yeah, I did not like the PS3. But that's fair. I just jumped straight to PS4.
Awesome. Well,
So, okay, can I add something real fast, Connor? Before you
yeah,
sign
go
off?
for it. Go for it.
So the whole thing was I'm trying to make my top five. So why are your favorite games your favorite games? Like, is it because of nostalgia? Is it because you objectively think they're the best games? Is it for some other reason? Like your friend did something and you went haha and now it's your favorite game? Like why are your favorite games your favorite games?
Yes.
Halo's my favorite game because of Cortana. No, No.
Yeah.
I'm so for me personally, my favorite games are my favorite games. Spyro is like nostalgia. That's pure nostalgia, but also they're a fun, really good creative game that came out pretty early. They were fun. And they kind of games like that kind of paved the way, for a lot of other games. Mostly the newer games that I put on my list, it's solidly because they made me feel absolutely horrible in like a good way, if that makes sense. Like
Okay.
God of War, when I finished God of War Ragnarok, I sat there in silence for probably about 30 minutes.
That is how you will be if you finish Red Dead Redemption 2.
I'm sure I will definitely finish it now.
It's amazing.
Tears of the Kingdom has never made me feel dumber. Like nothing has made me feel dumber than Tears of the Kingdom, and I think that's part of why it's fun. It's like how Matt said. Like I sit there and I'm just like it shouldn't be this hard to climb up a building.
I don't know.
I mean, it is definitely a nostalgia, but it's also those games that like offered enough to where the nostalgia had time to build, because there are games like one of my favorite games to play with Matt is Wheel of Fortune. I have that on the Switch and it's fun to play because Matt sucks at it and I'm really great. And so like, yeah, it's fun beating him on that. But like when I think about games from my childhood, trudging through Emerald, not knowing really how to play a Pokemon game or like anything that I know now on that level, and just remembering how stupid I was for the choices I made for the Pokemon that I decided to kill and not actually catch because I didn't understand that was the only chance I had to catch them. It's fun to look back on those games and like that was such a significant part of my life. That's cool to remember.
Connor's like Deoxys. Who cares? Kill it.
Who needs that? It's not even a real Pokemon.
Honestly, if you can like, for me, as a terrible memory as I have, if a game can make me remember it, I feel like that's a pretty solid like indicator that it was such a good game.
Okay.
Or a really bad game, I guess.
Okay. All right. Thank you, guys. I appreciate the. Oh shit, you didn't answer.
I am gonna say just nostalgia based on either people I played them with, again, like Battlefront 2, or even something weird like I don't remember why I remember this so much. Need for Speed 2 Hit and Run or whatever it was called, or Hot Pursuit.
Sure.
I played that on the PS2 game. It was my friend Cameron, who Eddie would have met at the wedding. We played his PS2 / my PS2 all the time. And then I have ones with like my siblings. So like Super Mario for the 64, for the Nintendo 64.
Yeah.
A great game. We played that all the time. And then there's nostalgia, like my first time I beat a game. So like Fallout 4 or Portal 2. No playthrough has been able to match the first one just because I was super focused on that, putting it together so well. So yeah, mostly nostalgia. But sometimes gameplay too. Like there are some games where I've gone back to and I'm like, this sucks. I cannot continue. Like the Switch, you can play all the old Super Nintendo games. They don't hold up as well as I remember.
Mm-mm.
Like, I don't think I could beat Super Mario if I tried now. But back then it was fun. So I'm going to go with it's mostly nostalgia. Occasionally gameplay. So like Red Dead Redemption or any of the VR games, it's gameplay. But 90% it's nostalgia.
Okay. Thanks, guys. I appreciate your input.
I hope it helps.
I think it has. I'll bring my full list for our small beards, big opinions. I'll bring it for like a hot take or something. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, you guys are going to be on our show now, right?
Yeah, guys.
Sure.
Thank you
If we
so
have
much for
time.
listening to this week's episode of the Garlic Boys. What was that?
Tune in next time to hear Connor say,
Well, it's a good thing I'm a good Jew.
Hey, Eddie, you can't say that.
Ah, gosh darn.
You're not a good Jew.
Believe me,
Man,
this
that
is not
versus-
the first time Eddie's been canceled for saying something on the air.
Yeah, I said something about Chick-fil-A and everyone freaked out. I've never had so much interaction ever.
Yeah, Eddie said Chick-fil-A is mid.
I said it's overrated.
Thank you for listening to this week's episode. Thank you for listening to this week's episode of the Garlic Boys podcast. Special thanks to Small Beards Big Opinions for being on this week's episode. It was so fun having you on. Where can we find you guys online?
Sure. So you can find us on Facebook and Instagram with Small Beards Big Opinions, and YouTube, which is where we put most of our content. We're not like these fancy people that pay to have it on Apple Music and Spotify.
Hey man,
Right.
Don't tell them that we pay for that. Like, just think that those companies like us so much that we put it out there.
Guys, they record on Google Meets. Got 'em!
Well, if you'd like to hear more from the Garlic Boys, you can follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. You can support us on our Patreon, smallest tier, lowest tier, not smallest. You still get a lot from it. Small beard, you know. It is $3 a month on our Patreon at patreon.com/the Garlic Boys. And you can watch video versions of our show as well on YouTube at youtube.com/@the Garlic Boys.
Yeah, come look at our shirts. You're going to miss it if you don't see the video.
Yeah, you got to see the shirts.
Yeah, come see our shirts.
So, guys, we've been doing this bit called Supplementary Mom Reports, where we just give a shout out to a mom each week. Any moms you guys want to shout out this week?
Okay, yeah. Shout out to Goat Mom from Undertale. She's pretty cool. I don't remember her name, but I know she's Goat Mom.
Shaner?
I don't know. I'm gonna go super basic. Shout out to my mom, who Connor, she met you once, and still every time I bring up Waynesburg, she's like, "What happened to Connor? I liked him." I'm not kidding you. Every time.
Well, then I also like to jump onto your shout out to your mom because we're Facebook friends.
Something I just found out, but yeah, she met you one time and she loved you. So,
Hey, that's how it happens with moms. Matt? Mom?
I don't have one. Sorry.
Bro
That's
spaced
fine.
out.
Well, we'll take that as Matt's final thought as well. And as always, remember to stay garlicky.
garlicky.
I didn't know if Eddie was going to know what to do.